You're now listening to the Something Good Podcast Network. Please press any key to continue.
Yep.
Don't touch it!
Presenting a new comedy
I'm a substitute Spanish teacher.
about intellectuals
Los estudiantes son mis amigos.
and their gifted offspring.
That boy ain't right.
About future Hall of Famers
Watch the ball!
What?
and expert auto care.
Oh, my head!
Introducing King of the Hill.
Me, the executive manager, talk about every time y'all come on like you did to put on that dang old Melrose Place. Boomhauer ain't right.
Premiering next on Fox.
Kick this off?
Yeah.
Let's light this propane fire. Let's light this Megalomart.
Dang on me. Fucking.
Dang old Megalomart. Go. Boom.
Welcome, everyone, to this edition of the Couch Potatoes, where now we're going to be delving on into probably one of the best, not only animated series, but just series in general.
Best series in general.
King of the
it's
Hill.
up there.
I'm Alex.
Dang old Cap.
Dang old Morrison, man. I tell you, I came all the way down here, 45 goddamn minutes, man. It took me all the way down here. You know how hard it is about a Berkshire Freeway, Independence, Briar fucking Creek.
Seriously, Star Wars is one of the things we all love, but one of the other things that really connects us as friends is our deep love for King of the Hill. So we're going to be taking this as far as we want. We're going to be taking each of these episodes a season at a time. We've all been kind of binge watching it and rewatching the series, and we'll kind of take it as far as we want. If we finish off the series, so be it. But
yeah,
sometimes those episodes near the end get a little bit more difficult. They're definitely not as good.
They're difficult to fucking watch, that's
Right.
for sure.
Yeah. Can I pitch an idea before we dive
You do
into
right
it?
ahead. Go ahead.
Can we all like record ourselves going like, yep, mm-hmm, and then the show starts?
Yo, man.
No,
Dang
so
old Cat, man, with his ideas, man. Just carrying on like dust in the wind, man. No one gives a fuck.
I'll record that at the end and I'll put it in the episode.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Cap's all tickled.
You haven't laughed
now.
that hard since the retard joke. You got to pay the extra for that one.
To be fair, it was pretty good.
Oh my god.
Pretty damn good.
So King of the Hill follows the Hill family living in Arlen, Texas. Series came out in 1997, January.
Yep. Right before, not too long before, January 12th.
Yep.
Around the time of
Was it
the AFC, NFC championship games.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it came out like it was that big because
Was it around with the Cowboys playing in that game?
1997. I'm trying to think who
Or
won.
does that matter at all to like the history of the show at all?
No, it doesn't. Their third episode debuted the night after the Super Bowl.
Oh, okay. Was
Yeah,
this
so,
like
they got squared up to get some good ratings and get shown to a
Same
lot
with
of people.
like American Dad did that. Family Guy came back to that.
and this was like immediately after Beavis and Butthead?
I wouldn't say immediately. Beavis and Butthead stopped in what, 95?
That sounds about... Well, I think... Well, Do America was the last thing, so I'll pull that up.
Okay.
Beavis and Butthead, MTV, but they hadn't hit Fox. And
Right.
I mean, Fox was still kick-ass shows like Married with Children and The Simpsons was still good.
It was a big deal for somebody like a Mike Judge to get on, have a syndicated show on Fox.
Okay, so actually, Cap's not too far off. This was kind of right after Beavis and Butthead Do America came out in 96.
Okay.
You remember
Yeah.
say what about the last episode?
I'll pull up the last episode of the show.
Yeah.
Have Beavis and Butthead. Yes. All right, because I couldn't tell you what happened in the last episode. It was
Fuck, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either on
I
that.
consider the movie as like the last
end,
episode. Yeah,
because you
at
see
the end of that saga.
Like you see that. They see their dads.
Yep.
They're shitty dads.
The Motley Crue roadies or
Yeah.
whatever.
I got he didn't.
They tried to reboot it in the I guess it was 8 to 9 years ago now. At this point, they tried to do like a commentary over fucking like Jersey Shore and shit like that.
Yeah,
Check
they
this
did.
out. For a short period of time, Beavis and Butthead and King of the Hill overlapped with new episodes.
Oh shit.
Because the series originally ran for 7 seasons from March 8th, 1993 to November 28th, 97.
Wow. So he was finishing up Beavis and Butthead, then he started this.
Yeah.
Shows
Damn,
how prolific he was.
So that's also kind of crazy to think about, that there were new episodes of Beavis and Butthead and King of the Hill coming out at the same time.
That's probably when they were ending. That's probably when he's when they're on their last season. That's probably when he sent his promotional video to Fox.
Yep.
Well, hey there, Mr. Johnson of Fox. I'd like to talk to you about my son, Bobby, my wife, Peg, and her niece, Luann.
That's a great thing about that set of characters is they don't need a whole lot of explanation.
They don't. They
No.
don't.
And going in is kind of figure what we kind of do on this series is go through the seasons episode by episode and kind of discuss each one a little bit. That's why we're going to go season to season. I was going to lump 2 seasons per episode, but then Chris brought up a great point. He goes, hey man, do you know that season 2 has 21 episodes? And I'm like,
Yeah.
whoa, okay, we're going to do a season per episode. And it's like, yeah, that's a better idea.
Yeah, because after between seasons 2 and 12, yeah, they're about 20 episodes a pop. Then it's season 13, which is the end. I think it's only, I don't know if it's that many. I can't like put up the numbers like out the gate, but it seemed shorter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they were ending it, because Family Guy had just got back.
And even then, like if you're watching it on Hulu, is where I've been rewatching it. They're only like 20 episodes long.
Yeah.
Or 20 minutes long.
Each episode's only 20
third of it's
episodes
fucking
long.
commercials.
And us kind of talking about the progression of the characters, we can easily start talking about the episodes while doing that, because season 1
Or episode
does a-
1,
Yeah.
in general, just
that's
like
what
does a
I'm
great
getting
job
at.
setting it up.
Well, that's what I'm getting
And
at.
the animation is so different from the rest of the series.
Yeah.
Even
Yeah.
in season 1.
Season 1 overall does such an amazing job introducing all the main characters, but especially what Cap was saying, episode 1 did it so smart. We
Yeah.
learned about Hank's neurourethral problem and all of that due to the social
Immediately.
worker coming to the house.
Yeah.
You know, we learned about the family dynamic with
That stick
Luann.
boy.
Yeah.
Twig boy.
Yeah, how like Hank is clearly like uncomfortable with the sexuality of Luann.
Yes. Yes. Immediately out the gate, we found out that Dale Gribble is a
His wife was having an affair on him.
Oh yeah, that's my boy. John Redcorn blasting fucking Boston or Foreigner every time he comes to fuck Nancy. Some classic rock.
Yeah, they established that in the very first episode, and they still carry that narrative throughout the entire series.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's hilarious. Some of the even the jokes between Bobby and Joseph allude to John Redcorn being his dad. He's like, that's like the bug on top of my dad's truck. You mean Dale Gribble's truck?
Yeah.
Yeah, my dad.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. And how Bobby was just like, oh, and doesn't.
Yeah.
Well,
prod further.
Bobby is the saving grace of that whole fucking show.
Oh, yeah.
If you had to do like a light to dark, like who's the worst and who's the best, Bobby is the best.
And that's another thing the show does, just kind of like Bobby has 4 father figures.
Yeah. Bobby's got Bill, Hank, Boomhauer,
And Dale.
Dale. I don't want to call him a father figure. I'm going to call him like that guy my dad knows.
Well, I was going to say that.
Yeah, go ahead, Alex.
Does Boomhauer really fall under that too? He didn't really have much interaction with Bobby aside from the dating tips.
Yeah, he does, but he gives advice to Bobby every now and then.
Yeah.
Other than dating tips.
But you know how your
But
dad...
that's who you go to though for dating tips. Fucking Boomhauer.
Of course.
Right.
But he has a fucked up way of getting women. But,
Quantity by
yeah, quantity is better than quality. He fucking does a shotgun approach when he goes to women's at like a shoe store. He's like, hey, how you doing? They're like, fuck off. And then he keeps doing it and doing it and doing it until he finds one. Yeah.
Dang old numbers game, man. It's
Dang old
just-
numbers game. Hell, he fucked a Belma woman, remember?
And I think the pilot also does a really good job at showing that really setting up that even though Hank doesn't understand Bobby, may not fully like everything Bobby does, he will defend him to the ends of the earth.
Still loves his boy.
Yeah, that's his boy.
Yep.
Like there are things that like he does to channel Bobby in different directions, like the Husky Bobby episode and all that. But which is season 2. But anyway, there are things like he just they're blatant lies he tells Bobby, and Bobby's like, that's not true.
Yeah.
Like when he's listening. Remember when he's listening to Carrot Head?
Yeah.
And he's like, Bobby, Weird Al Yankovic blew his head off.
Yes.
Because people stopped listening to his music. He's like, no, the fuck he didn't.
Hank's trying his damnedest to not have his son go into a show business career.
Oh, yeah.
Or get anything creative done.
Yeah.
He knows how
so
rough the show
hard.
business is.
Then you find out, like in later episodes, that Bobby can do what Hank does, but very well, but to a little shittier degree. Remember the whole propane sale? Remember he outsold Hank quite a bit, but it turned out backfired.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, the baseball, the opening fucking scene. Keep your eye on the ball. No, that's not the opening scene. The opening scene is the truck, and everybody can you?
Yeah.
You know what's wrong with your truck?
It's a Ford.
It's a Ford. You know what Ford stands for, don't you?
Fix it again, Tony.
Again, Tony.
That's Fiat, Dale.
Fix it again. Oh, okay.
That and the
Cuts his goddamn brakes.
that was my favorite bit. Is,
What are you, Dale? Dale, what are you doing? I'm helping Hank with his truck.
think you cut the brake line, Dale?
Dale!
No, I didn't.
I fixed it, see?
Have you noticed that like every time Dale runs away, he hops a fence, even though there's no reason for him to hop a fence? But he can haul ass over
It's the inner tactical in him.
tack to Dale.
I wasn't here.
But Dale does that throughout the whole like show, like even in
That's his go-to.
what was it, episode 2, where she has to do the sex education.
Square peg.
Yeah, remember why she has to do that?
Because the teacher
The teacher quit. The
Yeah.
the teacher refused to do it. You know why the teacher refused to do it? It's alluded that Dale called that teacher's house and said, "You don't know who I am, but I know where you live." And she's like, "Oh no, the teacher can't do it." She was threatened, and then he calls Hank's out.
That is my favorite joke of the
Hank,
whole season.
Dale, is that you? Oh, can you put Peggy on? Hey,
Hey,
Peggy,
Peggy.
it's Dale. You don't know. Who I
and she even grabs the phone and she's like, "Hello, Dale."
you don't know who I am, but I know where you live. Jesus.
And then at the end of the episode, when he leaves the voicemail, he's like, "You don't know who I am, but I know where you live, and if you keep teaching that sex ed, whatever his threat is." And then at the very end, oh, and Hank, let's make sure we're still good for fishing tomorrow morning.
Drinking in the alley at 5.
Yeah, drinking it out of 5. I'll see you, man.
You do find out like very quickly that Hank is the linchpin of those 4 friends.
Yes.
They cannot function as a group.
Bill Dauterive,
they are the
who's-
3 fucking stooges without Hank.
Bill Dauterive, who is still pining over his ex-wife and has a romantic notions
Lenore.
towards Peggy.
Lenore. I do like when Lenore shows back up though. It's hilarious because she's
Yeah.
a bitch.
I ain't got that far yet.
Oh yeah, you'll find it's in season 3 or 4.
And then you got Boomhauer, the lady killer, who can't formulate a sentence.
Well, he can formulate a sentence, but his brain's going a little faster than what his mouth can catch up to.
Right. You know where he's from.
What do they allude to that he's from?
Well, at the very end, they allude that he's a Texas Ranger, but he's
Yeah.
actually from Corpus Christi.
Okay.
He's from the Gulf. He's from the fucking Gulf, dude. So he talks a little funny. People from Marietta, Georgia.
That's why he wears Speedos all the time.
Yeah, or like Biloxi or New Orleans. Talks all fucking weird and fast.
And then there's Dale, who is like the conspiracy theorist nutcase.
And woke as fuck.
Oh,
But
yeah.
is-
As
but-
of today's standard, he is woke as fuck.
but is not aware of things happening right in front of him, like his wife cheating on him.
Yeah.
And that his son, with very, very dark caramel skin, does not match his and his wife's super fair complexion.
I just realized that I was like in the first episode when Hank goes to stand out there with the guys, he's not standing, he's sitting on a mower. Because they're talking about global warming.
Yeah.
And he's like, I say, and Dale goes on a fucking tangent, I say let the world hold up, we'll grow oranges in Alaska. He's like, Dale, it's already 102 degrees, and if it gets a degree hotter, I'm going to kick your ass.
And the other thing I love about Square Peg is, so in the pilot, they did a very good job at setting up the men, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
And then Square Peg did a very good job at
What Peggy does for a living.
Exactly. They basically took an entire episode to dedicate to Peggy and how complex of a character she is.
Can you name the year she got her first trophy?
Substitute Teacher of the Year Award 1996. I had to say the full sentence, but I got there.
Remember how she fucking shittily got the last one? That's my favorite episode.
Which season was that one?
4.
Okay,
where she
yeah,
was,
we'll have to get there.
As Mrs. Hank Hill.
Yes,
because she runs on Hank's name.
Oh yeah, I do remember that.
Little shop,
Hank
little horror's a shop.
Yeah.
But no, like the first 2 episodes definitely set the mood of the show, where it's a small town family with all the cliches attached to it, but went in a
little prudish.
Because we got a good bit of Luann in those 2 also.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
because
a little bit of Luann too, absolutely.
Because that's when you realize he doesn't want her there.
Yeah,
He's doing a solid for his family on his wife's side. Mm-hmm. But goddamn it, he doesn't want to be around her
because Luann is typical, you know, like is that caricature of the trailer
young
trash
college girl.
Yeah. She's like 19, 20, if that.
Yeah,
she's out on her own. She's out of look, basically, and her mom and daddy are fucking pieces of shit.
Right.
Yeah.
But nah, she's there with Hank, and she treats Hank like a daddy. Mm-hmm. And that's how he treats her, like a daughter.
And the other fun fact for the pilot episode is the first scene after the theme song. Hank walks into Bobby's room, and Bobby's listening to a cassette tape.
Carrot Head.
Yeah.
It was the Crank Yankers audio thing. It was the fart noises.
But the guy that was doing
it was.
There's a giant poster
it's Carrot
of Carrot Head, and it's like making fun of Carrot Top with the prop comedy.
Well,
right.
Longtime listeners of the show know that's where we pulled the audio for our "What the Hell Are We Listening To" segment on the main show. Something good for you is we plucked that and then we replaced it with the audio of that the meme of that cowboy doing that.
Yeah, I want to do like the animate Hank's face so weird.
Yeah,
when he's listening to that,
like
that,
oh god,
he's like, this ain't nothing but fart noise. But his face, the way they animate it, looks like he's got PTSD.
Yeah,
right.
And then episode 3, Order of the Straight Arrow.
Oh yeah, that's when you really meet John Redcorn.
Yes.
Yep. John Redcorn. He's like, hey buddy,
we keep seeing it. He shows up every so often to pick up,
and you see you meet the kids too. You kind of get Bobby and Joseph on their first adventure with the grown-ups.
A kid that loosely looks like Boomhauer.
Yeah,
I forgot about that.
He kind of plays the Boomhauer replacement,
and it's it's a nice little part. And they have the silent sticks made of Slim Jims. Every time you talk, I eat a Slim Jim, and fucking Bill is like, but Hank, I'm hungry. And he's like, all right, hold on. And he starts just veering in the car into the wrong lane. And Joe's just like, Hank, Mr. Hill, what did you do? And like he does that hand motion.
He's like, give Mr. Dotrieve
your silent stick. But these are Slim Jims. What'd you say?
Oh yeah, and then it was something like, oh yeah, and Bill went, hey, which one of you kids want $1? And all of them went, me. And he's like, up. And Hank's like, come on, Bill.
I love that episode because Hank takes everybody snipe hunting.
Yes.
And
which is hilarious.
My dad used to do that with his customers.
Really?
They would come stay at our house, and they don't know anything. They were like from Australia or China, and my dad would take them snipe hunting. It was hilarious.
Oh, that's great. So it's like the Australians taking the Americans to go see what the
the drop bears.
Yeah.
Walkabouts and shit like that.
Yeah. Except the snipe isn't real.
Yeah.
The drop bears are very real.
Yeah, because they drop on you.
Technically there is a snipe, but they're like coastal.
Yeah, but
yeah, you don't find them in the woods.
Down south, even here, from North Carolina to Texas, everybody knows what a snipe is.
Yeah.
All the way through Tennessee to Missouri, like everybody knows it. Don't go snipe.
But they would do that, but it goes horribly wrong.
Pretty sure they're going to pin you down in the woods somewhere.
Right.
And one of my favorite, because I know it said one of my favorite jokes came from the other episodes. My favorite line that wasn't intentionally funny came from this one. And it's when the kids are all lined up and Bill's giving everyone their supplies, and he goes, "All right, here's your whoop ass stick."
I love that.
Just how casual and just kind of like the dad sound of like kind of getting up out of his seat kind of thing, like,
all right, let's knock it out.
Here's your whoop ass stick.
And they throw him in the bush.
The delivery of that was just priceless.
But the whole John Redcorn takes it very fucking seriously.
Yes.
And then you realize he's the most stacked motherfucker in that whole show. Yep. Like he stands toe to toe with Hank, like height wise, and he's just a little bit taller than Hank. But every time he's like, "Hey, John Redcorn, can you give us some of that Native American bullshit?" And he's like, "It's very real, Hank. Our native stories carry with us through father and son, and then
Alex is doing the hair
and the
wave.
wind. Yeah, every time he talks, unless he's like crying, it's like the wind blows through his hair. That's why John Redcord is hilarious, especially if you look up the guy that plays him.
Yes.
He's in Parks and Rec, and he's an Indian guy. And he's he's Native American, and he fucks with everyone on Parks and Rec. But all I see is John Redcord. He's like,
watched any of those.
I'll pull up a crazy episode for you. And they're like trying to open up a festival or something. But he's like, this place is cursed. It's like, and then like he looks at the camera. He's like, white people are scared as fuck of curses. But get fucking.
That's awesome.
John Redcord's a good guy.
Yeah.
Even though he's fucking his friend's wife.
Right.
But that's more on Nancy than it is him, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nancy's the one with the migraines.
And I do love the fact that Dale Gribble is married to Nancy.
Yeah.
Hicks Gribble. Like
the hot weathercaster of Arlen.
Like you would think, if anybody was cheating, it would be Boomhauer with Dale's wife.
Yeah.
The maniac next to him.
Yeah, exactly. The
But
guy
no.
that's all clean cut, has the sharp chin, looks like the
But
ladies' man.
as Dale says, she only likes pale. She only likes pale-faced men with my track team body, my track team physique.
That's why Nancy started fucking John Redcorn. It's like, I'm married to this fucking guy.
Yeah. No, it's so fucked up, the whole Don Redcord thing, because it backfires quite a bit.
Yeah, it does. But
But
they still are able to pull plenty of stories throughout the entire season.
But I will say this, in that episode when they're talking about, it happens 2 or 3 times, but Bobby and Joseph are talking about going camping and stuff.
Yeah.
Bobby is so fucking amped. Like you remember the hunting episode?
Oh, yeah.
He's like, no, we're leaving and becoming men.
Yeah.
Coming back men. They're going to go hunt deer, and they're talking about their fantasy about hunting deer. And Bobby has this crazy ass fantasy of his Hank going down, getting tripped, and he breaks his ankle or some shit, and he picks
Hank up.
He picks his own daddy up, fucking cocks the gun one handed like the T-1000.
Right.
And it's like, boom, and then the deer goes down, but then the deer looks at Bobby dead in the eyes and goes,
Winks.
nods his head.
nods.
Nods his head like, yes, you deserve to kill me. and then what happens? Joseph saves fucking Dale's life. He pulls that fucking gun, does a roll. He does a fucking roll and shoots that fucking deer. And like the whole time Dale's screaming like, oh my God. Like, and then Joseph shoots the deer and it goes down and he's like, Wingo, man, that's my boy.
And the interesting, because talking about character development, the interesting side plot from Order of the Straight Arrow, this is when we find out Peggy has big feet. This is the episode
they
she
pull
goes
Marge
out.
Simpson.
She goes out when the boys are all hunting, doing the snipe thing, she goes out to the special shoe store, and that's where we kind of learn about where she's.
That's the second time we see Cotton before he shows up.
In the dream sequence, the flashback sequence.
the
in Hank's head.
Yeah.
Because fucking
Because episode 2 is about they're talking about the birds and the bees. And
Yeah,
like,
he's
they
like,
allude
woo,
to-
boy, get you that. He's talking about showing cows fucking each other. And he's like, woo, boy, look at him. And he's like Hank's kind of crying.
And then Hank takes Bobby to go. He's like, "This is how my dad taught me."
And then it's like just cow inseminations. It's like,
Oh, yeah, we call
God.
this one Buster 3000.
Yeah. All right. Episode after that was Hank's Got the Willies, which was
Willie Nelson.
Yep. Where
He accidentally hits Willie Nelson with a block of ice.
Episode 4, they
Bobby
get a huge fucking get as a celebrity.
Yeah, they get Willie Nelson and Dennis Hopper.
Yep.
Dennis Hopper plays himself because he threatens to kick Hank's ass. Remember that?
Yep.
He's like, Peggy, do you want me to kick Hank's ass for you? Because remember, she's mad at him. She's mad at him.
That's right.
And
Dennis Hopper's like, "Well, I think you're a strong, intelligent woman, Peggy."
I like a strong woman like you, Peggy.
Yeah.
He's like, you may go kick his ass, and Peggy, even though she's mad at him,
Hesitation.
without hesitation, she's like, oh, honey, he'd rip you apart. Hank Hill would fuck you up. Because we only see Hank fight a few times, but when he does, he's kicking ass.
Oh yeah.
Like Jimmy Pritchard. Remember Jimmy Pritchard?
Oh God, Jimmy.
He runs across a ratrack to kill Jimmy Pritchard.
I don't think I've gotten that far yet.
That's
yeah,
the racetrack episode.
Yeah, Dale
okay.
Earnhardt does the voice. He does his own voice.
Did I see that one already? Well, that's in like season 2 or 3, right?
Season
Yeah,
3.
it's a little later on.
Bobby gets a job at the racetrack.
That's right.
But yeah, I think the Hank's Got the Willies one was pretty cool because something we talked about off mic, which is in these earlier seasons, Hank showed a lot more affection toward Peggy. He wasn't quite as
Not prudish.
He wasn't as exactly. He was prudish around showing it in public, But when it was just him and Peggy, when the doors were shut and it was completely alone, he wasn't prudish. They kind of changed that as the seasons progressed. He was even a little bit more prudish with her. But one of the things that really got me, I thought was really sweet in this episode, was the very end when after he and Willie Nelson and Bobby patch things up, Hank goes over there and he's strumming and he's singing the song he wrote about Peggy as Peggy's going over there, all angry and stuff.
Yeah. You remember how Bobby? All right, so he hits Willie Nelson with that block of ice, but he goes there, backs over to apologize.
Mm-hmm. He's playing Game Boy.
Yeah, but remember the golf game?
Yes.
Lee Trevino's Golf 3000 or some shit, and like Bobby's like, "Oh no, you need to turn it left, wedge it."
Right.
He's like, "Oh, thanks, man. I've been on that hole all week." But fucking, he's hanging out with fucking. He brings his guitar. He steals Hank's guitar.
Yeah.
That gets Willie Nelson to sign it, which I thought was pretty cool.
And I thought the joke on the signature was funny. That was just like, just almost a straight line.
No, he doesn't hit Willie Nelson with ice. He hits Willie Nelson with a golf ball.
Yeah, you're right. The block of ice ones later on when he still works with Strickland. Yeah,
he's hanging out with Strickland.
Yeah, it was
hey,
the golf
hello
ball.
there, old top.
Yeah,
and I don't think we see Strickland until later on.
No, we don't. Nope, not till a little good bit.
Yeah, because Buck Strickland is the devil.
And then the Willie Nelson one little add-on they put on is Boomhauer talking with Bob Dylan. And Bob Dylan talks like Boomhauer. Yeah, dang old, no, times are changing, man. Shoot.
Yeah. Man, times are changing, man. Dustin Wind.
And then episode after that, Luann's saga. So now Luann finally gets her
of Chuck Mangione.
Oh yes. And this is when Luann finally starts getting her. Starts getting her story in a little bit.
That's
more.
when she breaks up with Buckley for like a minute.
I was about to say
for like a little while, and then
is this the first time?
This is where Hank hangs out with Luann and tries to find a girl for her. He uses the guys to help find a guy for her.
Right. And he meets that cowboy dude at the restaurant bar thing.
Yeah. He's like, "You love your mama? Yeah. Do you like Texas football? Hell yeah. What do you think about propane? All right." Yeah. He's like, "Luann, I found a guy for you."
Yeah.
Is this the first time we see Megalomart?
No,
we saw episode 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hammer. Where can I find a fucking hammer?
That's right.
What are you building? No, that's what. If I wanted to, he's looking for a tap and die and some WD-40. I'm looking for a tap and die, and that's what started the whole fucking problem in episode 1.
Yeah, because Bobby was swinging this thing around and knocked over
a pile of something.
Yeah,
and he's like, I heard
Bobby being Bobby.
I heard that Hillman threatened to kill that boy from the Megalomart.
That's right.
And I heard he hit his son. Mm-hmm. Oh man, somebody should really call the people. And then it goes to Twig Boy.
Yeah, Twig Boy.
And he's like, he hit his son with a baseball bat.
But then the big twist that happens in the Luann saga is she meets up with Boomhauer.
That's right.
Yeah, he takes her in, and she's like, "Well, she's like really unsure about fucking Boomhauer." And he's like, "I'm not here to fuck you. I'm gonna let you sleep on my couch." And that's gonna be the end of it.
He did accept a little short kiss.
Yeah,
that was about it. But I found that pretty interesting about that with Boomhauer, that as much as he had been kind of built up as the ladies' man womanizer as he was, he still had that line where Luann was still off limits in his mind.
It's like, this is my friend's essentially my friend's child.
Yeah, so I found that pretty interesting that even Boomhauer had his limit there.
Yeah, he shit where you eat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Dang old don't shit where you eat, man. You know?
She's not Nancy.
In this episode, the next one, Hank's unmentionable problem. This episode doesn't pay off until a few seasons later.
Yeah, that's when. Yeah, because of the
art show.
The art show. The one we left off at.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But no, it's you get to see Cotton again.
Yep.
In a dream sequence.
Again,
and it's really creepy. He's like, "Bye, boy," and like he flushes Hank down to hell.
Yeah. I was like, how far into it does Cotton show up?
He shows up in episode 2.
Okay.
Episode 8.
As far as like,
he shows up quite a few times.
But yeah,
which I think was hilarious because they show him all cut up and like all cut down and everything. It's like you don't think about it, but why is his daddy so small?
Yeah. But again, just with the brilliant writing of it is, we see this character for basically 8 episodes or 7 episodes in different dream sequences and mentions and things like that. Yeah. But he doesn't actually get involved with the story until episode 8.
No.
And Hank doesn't. This episode just kind of showcases Hank's pride because he didn't want to tell anybody he's got constipation problems.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically, because that's really all it was centered around. There's a good handful of little short jokes in it.
There was one thing they say to him that kind of offends him. He's like, Mr. Hill, have you thought about not eating beef?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, fuck you. We eat steak 3 times a week in this house, bitch.
How dare you
your
suggest
mouth.
that? Yeah, essentially. Episode 7, we meet Khan.
Yes.
Khan Supernusifone. And Connie.
Westy Side Story.
And Connie and Min.
Yes.
Now, the guy that does Khan's voice is the same guy that does Cotton's voice.
Yes.
So his name is Toby Huss. If you ever seen Radio 911?
Yes.
All right, you remember they would always stop by and talk, arrest that dude that would have a swimming pool, like a little kiddie pool in his front yard. He had like a lawn chair inside of it with a sprinkler, with a hose, and you always spray the cops with a hose.
I can't remember what he looks like. But
Oh my God, he's hilarious.
But that's the guy?
Yeah, Toby Huss. Toby Huss is in a lot of stuff, a lot of
Gotcha.
television. He's in Brooklyn Nine-Nine for a few episodes. It's like if you've seen him, you know who he is.
he's probably going to be one of those. I'll Google him and
Yeah.
immediately recognize him.
Yeah, but he plays Khan Supernusifone, who is the weirdest motherfucker. You know why he's named Khan?
Why?
Because that's what happens when you rearrange the letters of Hank.
Oh.
And I think he's a good foil for Hank.
He is.
He is.
He's the exact. All right. So Hank has a son. Khan has a daughter. Hank works a service job. Mm-hmm. Khan does like logistics.
Yeah.
He does a more advanced job.
Yeah.
He always Hank prides his lawn. Khan has someone do his lawn.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why his lawn's always greener.
Yeah.
Hank owns a Texas Bloodhound. Mm-hmm. Khan owns a fucking
Westie.
Yeah, Westie. Corgi. And it's like, what the fuck? Hank drives a truck, he drives a van.
Yep.
You know,
And even later on, as the seasons progress, Khan is very up to date with the latest technology and, what's hip and trendy. And Hank is still kind of set in his ways of, I like my VCR and DVD player. I'm not interested in satellite radio.
Hank likes
stuff like that.
Hank likes classic rock and country, and Khan likes 80s pop.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, Mickey, you're so fine.
Yeah.
You're so fine.
That's a perfect. And you know what? And that's a level I hadn't even thought of. You're right.
Yeah.
Even down to his music taste.
Yeah, they and Hank, he's a settler.
Yeah.
He's like,
Yeah.
I got my wife, I got my son, I got my job. I'm doing fine.
Yeah. I have everything I need.
Khan is always striving for something more,
Yeah.
just to piss off Hank after a while. Even in the driving episode,
Yeah.
he's like, in this side of the country, we pull out to the left or the right. He's like, you hit my car, my neck. He's like, oh, you poor hillbilly, I can't get no money from you.
Khan's just a petty motherfucker anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Great line in this one, though. That's just the opening line. So you're Chinese or Japanese?
Yeah. Well,
Laotian.
Yeah, Laotian. It's like that right there is a defining part of Cotton Hill, because Cotton Hill can identify anyone.
Oh, yeah.
At
Well, let's go
any
ahead and
time.
move on to that one, because the next one is Shins of the Father. It kind of works as a two-parter. Westy Side Story, the only thing that happened in that was Doggy, their little Westie, ran away, and then the kids go on a hunt to find him.
Yeah.
Hank and Con spar.
That sets up the basis for Connie and Bobby.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Yeah.
That's what that episode does. Then
Exactly.
Shins of the Father, Cotton shows up.
Con Jr. brings up grade average of this fucking hillbilly county. Raised GPA.
And it's cool because almost as soon as Cotton shows up, Con also shows up. So we see those two interact almost within minutes.
That's because Bill leads down. Or can we just talk about how Cotton just shows up? They're standing outside.
Yeah.
And he comes rolling and hauling ass in that Cadillac down the road, and he's like, whoa. He's like, oh, man, you're going to hit us. Oh, shit, man, it's your daddy. And then they haul ass.
Yep.
And he's like, Jesus Christ, you were standing here when I left through last year. Jesus Christ. He's like, and it was the Cotton was hanging out with the guys.
Yeah.
And Hank had went inside for something. And it's Bobby's birthday.
Yep.
And Bobby doesn't want Cotton there.
Yeah.
Because Peggy says he's the devil.
Which he's not that far off.
He kind of is.
But that's when you hear the story.
Yeah.
He was like, I was 13 years old, just a little older than Bobby. I lied about my age and fought the Germans, fought the Nazis in France. And then fought the Japanese in the Pacific. He's like, a Japanese Tojo torpedo came flying, kamikaze or whatever. He's talking about that. And he's like, it was me fatty in Brooklyn. They look like you fellas, but one of them from Brooklyn. and he's talking about, he's like, so I got to the shore and I saw it. It was a bunch of Japanese spitting. The way he said, spitting on the American flag. So I rushed him. Later he changes the story to where he hid in a barrel of sake.
Yeah.
And killed them all with a big piece of fatty. It's like he's beating Japanese piles of dead Japanese with a fucking leg.
I forgot about all that.
Oh my god, his story changes constantly.
Right?
Because he says he fought in Munich. He said he fought in Munich in Germany.
Bless you, sir.
But that means he had to be in the Pacific and the fucking European.
Yeah.
right.
At the same fucking time. Peggy points that out, and that's when we hear him refer to Peggy as a name for one time.
Mm-hmm. Hank's wife.
He addresses her as Hank's wife the entire fucking show. But in this episode, he says a name, but it's not her name. She's asking Bobby, he's like, Bobby, you want to help me dry dishes? He's like, nope, that's woman's work. And he's like, not today, Hillary.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Like, oh my God. And like, this is prime Clinton years too. And it's just like, Jesus Christ. Yeah. Oh my God. It's hilarious. The whole dynamic between him and her.
Oh, yeah. And the thing that was kind of the foil in this one was Bobby started kind of picking up on that. Right. And started kind of acting it out. And
well, remember, he says, I could take the boy to school. And then he doesn't and takes him to a bar. And he's like, but I got to be at school. Don't you know today's a national holiday? It's Angie Dickerson's birthday.
Bobby's very impressionable.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
He's like, hey there, Connie. He tells Connie, slaps her on the ass.
Yeah.
Nah, Connie, that's woman's work.
And then Hank basically has to have a sit down with him, give him the once over, be like, listen here.
Oh, but him telling that story was just funny. He's like, and I lost my shins.
Oh, yeah.
Now, Hank, what was it you wanted to talk to me about? And it was Hank's like, God damn it.
Yeah, because it was having to talk to Cotton about.
But that's when you
talk
about Con, he's from Laos. Do you remember where he's from after that? They lived in one place before they went to Arlen.
Tampa?
It was like Orange County was
Anaheim.
one.
Anaheim.
That's right.
Because Min says it. We've been kicked out of Laos. We were kicked out of Anaheim. We stay here.
Yeah.
Because Con kept getting in trouble, but we find that out later on.
But I tell you what, though.
Wasn't Min also voiced by?
Min is voiced by, hold on.
My favorite thing about Min is like she always calls Peggy Hill.
Hello, Peggy Hill.
Yeah.
I don't know who does.
You listen to me, Peggy Hill.
Choose a Connie. Choose a Connie.
No, choose a Connie.
But Min is actually one of the most dynamic characters.
Oh, yeah.
Because she has the weirdest fucking hobby compared to the rest of them. She skeet shoots. She's a champion. She's a champion skeet shooter.
That's right.
And she cheated on her husband.
I forgot about this.
Oh, that happens later on. It's alluded that she fucked somebody from Strickland Propane.
Oh.
At some point in time, before, like, you find out that her dad is a general in the Laotian military.
Oh, I forgot about that.
And then you meet
too.
remember we met Khan's mom and all that. Lyoma.
Yep, I remember all that.
Oh man, it's so funny. But no, fucking Shins of the father is just
that was a good one.
And that's when you meet former kindergarten playmate of Hank's, Dee Dee.
Yep.
Hello, Hank.
Oh yeah.
Do you still like to finger paint?
Still like to.
Now the next episode.
My flapjacks.
Oh my god, the whole thing. There's so much content in that one episode.
Oh yeah.
That's when you find out Luann is a badass mechanic.
Oh yeah, that's right.
She's like, Uncle Hank, I found this timing belt in the dryer. Do you want me to wash it with the whites? And then just when you find out that Cotton guilts Hank a lot.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't need a bed. I can sleep in a drawer because the Japanese blew my shins off.
Despite how much of a piece of shit Cotton is, Hank is still very close to his father and still vouches for him.
Yeah, because his family.
Yeah.
There was only 1 or 2 times he got so fed up with Cotton, he kind of had to turn his back on him.
Yeah. When he got bad when Cotton left Dee Dee there.
Yeah.
When she was pregnant. Mm-hmm. But
the Christmas episode he was about done with his ass too.
Yeah.
With Jimmy Carter.
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah, Bobby thought Jimmy Carter was Jesus.
Christ. Yep. We'll definitely get to that one. That's also a classic.
I think that's Jimmy Carter doing the voice too.
I think so.
Dude, I heard a funny ass story about Jimmy Carter. You know, because he builds houses in Tennessee,
Yeah.
in North Georgia, and does the Habitat for Humanity, and he has the Jimmy Carter Project. Garth Brooks recently had went out there to help build houses with Jimmy Carter.
Right.
Jimmy Carter had something fall on him.
Oh, I heard about this.
And remember when Jimmy, like you saw, I don't know if he was online, but like Jimmy Carter had this very bad cut on his forehead. He had a bandage.
I remember
anyway,
that.
He went down to North Georgia to a hospital, got it fixed up, and came back to Tennessee same day.
That's what Jimmy Carter did after his
Jimmy
presidential
Carter-
years.
He started fucking working again.
But
Yeah.
this Jimmy Carter now is like 95 years old and still doing it.
Yeah.
But he goes back to Tennessee. Garth Brooks talking about he was building a house with Jimmy Carter and a bunch of other people, and he had decided to take a break. He sat on some like a pile of lumber or something like that, you know. And Jimmy Carter walks up. He's like, "Garth, do you need something to do?" And I'm just like thinking, "Oh my God, Jimmy Carter's a hard ass." like I've heard stories about Jimmy Carter about how he made like the prime minister of like Egypt and the prime minister of Israel cry.
Yeah.
Because of the shit he said to them.
Damn.
Like yeah. He put them motherfuckers in a corner. He separated them because it was during the Israel-Iran
Yeah.
thing, and he had taken a photo with both of them to get all of them together in front of the White House or something. It was a photo, and he made copies.
Yeah.
And he took they just couldn't get it over. It's Camp David Accords. If you look them up, and he had took one guy into one room, and the Israel guy in the other room, and he talked to the Egyptian guy. He's like, "Look," and he pulls out that fucking copy of that picture.
Yeah.
He's like, "Look, I know we can't make peace right now, but I wanted to be able to say I could show my grandkids that we made peace between these two warring nations. I wanted to be able to say that, but I can't now." And he did that to both of them. And they bawled their fucking eyes out. They're like, "Oh my God, our grandkids!" They're like, "Our grandkids, our great grandkids."
Grandkid card.
And that's how the Camp David Accords went. Like
Wow.
Jimmy Carter, like you talk about somebody who's been politically assassinated in terms of being a good president.
About his legacy,
Yeah, his legacy's shot. But nah, man, he's a fucking hard ass. Like that peanut farmer. He's going to that.
Hey, Garth, you looking for something to do, buddy?
Yeah, but can you imagine that? A former president, 95 years old, older than the dirt he's going to be buried in, fucking just coming up to you like, "You need something to do, boy?"
Yeah.
with that North Georgia accent.
Oh, yeah.
Where they don't pronounce their R's and they all sound like they want to get the ass kicked.
Jimmy Carter,
Jimmy Carter.
peanut farmer.
And his buddy, his brother, the beer guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say after the Shins of the Father,
Peggy.
we got Peggy the Boggle
The
Champ.
Peggy episode.
Yes.
And that's what I was talking about. Lauren Metcalf, Jackie from Roseanne.
Yeah.
She plays Sissy Cobb, Texas State Champion. And that's what was fucked up about that episode. Is Men gives her a little traditional advice. He's like, "Bye, Peggy Hill," and like everybody's like, "Hey, Peggy, good luck." Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And they're like, "We'll see you when we get back." Men, no. Men says, "No, you either win or you don't come back. Or you don't come back. Good luck, Peggy Hill. Goodbye, Peggy Hill." And like she says it just in case, and I'm just like, holy shit, Men is insane.
Oh yeah.
I love the Peggy episodes though.
I like this one though because the ulterior motive for Hank going is
The mower show.
The mower show. And the commercial on there, Sunday.
And Saturday.
Yeah. I fucking love that.
To see the mulcher take on a 400-pound pile of Texas mulch.
That's the thing about this entire season is just all the little subtle jokes that get thrown in.
It's the tiny things.
Oh yeah, and it's all Texas.
Yep.
If you've met someone from Texas, you're like, "God damn it, Judge." Oh, nothing but net when it came to that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But now they go to that mower show and. "Oh, you must be Mr. Peggy Hill." And he's like, "What?" he stopped that shit. He's like, "What, motherfucker?" But not Peggy. Peggy bounces back. She comes all the way. You remember the word she used to win? I'll give you the setup. Ain't is not a word.
Oh yeah, initiate.
No. Acquaintanceship.
Acquaintanceship.
As in, it was not nice making your acquaintanceship. And it was just like, oh my God, the spiteful bitch is so good. Peggy, nothing but net.
And I like the dynamic of that episode because it shows Hank's struggle with not being selfish.
Yeah, well, he's selfish in the beginning.
Yeah.
He's very selfish.
He's very proud in his Texas masculinity and shit like that.
Absolutely.
Oh, he's all about that. But, he does have problems.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, Peggy comes back and wins the whole goddamn thing. And then you know what it is? It's a bowling trophy with a fucking boggle.
Yep.
Oh, that's another thing about Men in that fucking episode. She's playing boggle with Men and Nancy. And she goes, remember her little thing?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And Men makes a comment. She's like, "Thank you for the lesson, Peggy Hill. Come to my house and we'll play mahjong." bring your checkbook. Because they're playing Boggle for money.
Yeah.
And like she goes for like $2 or something.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Way to go, Peggy Hill. Come into my house. Bring your checkbook. Like, it gets that angry American accent.
She's like, I will fuck your ass up.
Yeah. Well, she does that later on. Like she does that with Hank. She's like, I agree. Hank's gonna fix my house, mow my lawn, and I teach Bobby Laotian lessons.
Yep.
For like $200 a pop. And he's like, and she like slyly makes a comment. No, Connie. I'm teaching him Southern dialect. Now I'll tell you this. Me and Ken. Ken has some buddies down in Cleveland.
Yeah.
And they're great people. Mm-hmm. They're Laotian.
Right.
And those motherfuckers party hard. Like they gamble. They party hard when someone passes away.
Yeah.
Barbecue all the time. We'll stop what they're doing and help you build a deck on your house.
Oh, damn.
Just out the drop of a hat. Great fucking group of people. Some of the best I've met in my life. But they told I did hear Ken said they're not fucking speaking Laotian. It's a bunch of made up bullshit. I'm just like, yes.
It was about like what we do with our fucking like North Carolina, Tennessee fucking like backwoods talk and shit like that.
Nah, man, that's right over there, man. Where's over there? Over there, man. God damn, man.
Yeah.
like far for us is like a 6-7 hour drive. Even though our counties are like 45 minutes apart.
How many miles is that? I don't fucking know.
I know it's 2. It's 6 hours. That's because I got to stop at the Sheets.
But how many
smokes?
We measure our fucking distance by time.
Yeah, time. Yeah, like in Europe, that's insane.
Yep.
Like if you tell somebody from Europe, oh, we're taking a 4-hour drive. Oh my god! Oh my, are we driving to Russia? Like, no, we're driving to fucking West Virginia. Like, oh my god!
And sometimes in King of the Hill episodes, the B storylines are sometimes better than the regular ones.
My favorite B storyline is Peggy and Bobby using charcoal.
Oh god, yes! I can't wait till we get to that episode. But this one
they're
was
like
a great.
washing their clothes after they grill with charcoal, so Hank doesn't know. And then he finds a fucking charcoal briquette.
What? No, this was a good one though in the Boggle Champ episode because
Luann and Bobby are left at home alone.
Yes, and they're trying to be so
neat.
Adult and respectful.
And Bobby leaves a fucking ring stain.
Yes, and then they lose.
That hit close to home
their
for me because
shit.
I remember hearing that shit growing up. Because we had my dad had like nice end tables and stuff.
Oh yeah.
And my young ass would drink a fucking glass of something colder than hell, so it would condensate onto the fucking table. And you remember what happens on like furniture when it does that? It bubbles up.
Yeah.
Because it's made of fucking nothing. But nah, this looked nice. He's like, nah. That hit close to home to me. I'm like coaster.
Oh, I know it.
Where's your goddamn coaster?
But I love the timing and the cuts on that one because they always cut away with both Bobby and Luann screaming, doing like a and then they cut away to whatever the main storyline is.
They hire people like Surf Pro to come and clean the house.
Oh yeah.
And then here comes Hank and Peggy. Like, I told you not to have a party. They're cleaning the house.
So get these people out of here.
Yeah, well, because they were the guys had on music when they were cleaning and everything else.
Yeah, it's fucking hilarious.
But that was when Hank and Peggy were like getting back in their youthful way, smoking cigarettes and everything.
Nope,
too,
not
right?
yet. That's the next
episode.
episode.
The next one.
Keeping up with their Joneses.
Yeah,
that's when it starts off with Joseph and Bobby in a bathroom. He's like, "Ooh, look, Manitoba lights," and it's like, "You want to smoke it?" And Bobby says that. Bobby's the one that says it.
Yeah.
Oh no, Joseph says it.
Yeah, Joseph recommends it, and Bobby's like, "Okay."
Okay, and they go to the bathroom, and that's when you hear fucking Hank get kind of like weirded out a little bit. He's like, "Hello, is anybody in there? Portus es ocupado." And this is a little shit Spanish. Right. And I will say he speaks Spanish better than Peggy. Because I think in an earlier episode,
Estudiantes.
Yeah, estudiantes. No trabajo. But you see Peggy like in an earlier episode in season 1, I believe. It's her talking about she got called to be a German teacher, German substitute teacher. Yeah, and she's talking to Luann. She's like, "Well, I said 9, which apparently was the wrong word because it means no." I was like, yeah, no shit. You can't speak German. You can't speak Spanish. You can barely speak English.
You're Texan
because she's from Montana.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, her parents live next to Henry Winkler.
Yeah, it was
not that far either.
Oh
this whole episode is like, oh man, I can't wait to watch this one.
Yeah.
That's what me and Alex are, fucking human trailers.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
These fucking episodes.
And yeah, Keeping Up Joneses, that was definitely of the times.
That's an episode you can forget very quickly.
Yeah, because it was an of the times thing. That was when the big truth anti-smoking thing was really big in the 90s. You saw those commercials.
That was around the same time as the FBI warnings in front of kids' games and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Right.
And it'd be like, cool kids don't do drugs. I'm like, I disagree. Like, River Phoenix OD'd in the Viper Room. That motherfucker was pretty fucking cool. Stand by me.
Do you smoke weed? Nah, man. I smoke fools like you on the b-ball court.
Oh, yeah. So that was more or less a truth anti-smoking episode.
I didn't even catch that watching it.
Oh yeah, because the whole family got re-addicted
You
to
know
it.
what Dale does? Here comes Hank coming outside and goes to hang out with the guys.
Well.
And he pulls out a fucking cigarette. Wingo, man, welcome back.
My favorite was the flashbacks that Hank would have with him and Peggy in their youth. Just they're just both just fucking smoking two cigarettes at a
each,
time.
just fucking all the time.
Yeah. Banging on the football field.
Yeah, playing putt together, smoking, fucking all this weird fucking smoking double entendre bullshit.
Oh yeah.
And then they go, and then what
You
happens?
want to go back to that place we used to eat at when we smoked?
Stuckies?
Smokies.
Yeah, Smokies. And then they go back to Smokies. Oh, Smokey died. The waitress who's got 3-pack a day voice.
Yes.
Oh yeah, Smokey died.
Smokey died.
He got lung cancer.
It's like, here, I'll take you to the smoking section. It's like this dark, dingy part of the restaurant. It's like there's a wall and a door, and they go in there. There's a bunch of old people hacking up, breathing.
That's right.
It's hilarious. That's when he takes Bobby to the class to know the dangers of smoking.
Yep.
And he's like, my dad made me smoke a whole carton. And they look at Hank like, you piece of shit. It reminds me of a Jack. What was it his name? Anthony Jeselnik. You ever heard of him?
Yeah.
That guy. He had that. He had a joke kind of like that. What Hank did.
Uh-huh.
He's like, my dad caught me with a fucking cigarette. You know what he'd do? He'd made me smoke the whole carton. Made me smoke the whole carton to teach me about brand loyalty.
That's great.
And then there was Manitoba.
Yeah.
Canadian cigarettes. That's what Dale likes.
Manitoba.
That's
He
right.
gets he saves all the tab. But y'all remember back in the day when that was a big thing? I know we'd be young and didn't smoke, but your parents or grandparents who smoked would save the tabs
Yes.
and send them in.
Yes.
Remember when they had that?
My mother would do that for Virginia Slims because she'd save the tabs, send them in.
God
She'd
damn, she was been blowing through them sons of bitches.
Oh, she was. She got
things are sticks,
dude. Virginia Slim ultralights.
Oh my god, that's a toothpick. That's not even a cigarette. That's like just wax paper doused in tobacco juice.
Yeah, so she'd smoke those, but she'd save all the tabs and send them in because then they'd mail her coupons.
Yeah, you get the points.
Yeah.
Yeah, my grandpa did that. I had a Winston flashlight. I got a Winston pair of binoculars.
Nice.
No
nice.
shit.
Dude,
And the original Winston logo with the eagle.
Yeah.
Yeah, remember the Winston cup?
Right.
Yeah.
dude, fun fact. There is a Winston Game Boy Pocket out there, the original black. It was the second generation of the black and white one because
No shit.
you had the big brick gray black and white
I
one.
bought the fuck out of that.
Then they had the smaller pocket version that was still
I
black
would
and
buy
white
it,
that came
repair
out.
it, and sell it with a pack of smokes.
Dude, they're hard to come by now though. They'll pop up on eBay every so often. They're a couple $100, but still,
yeah, it's worth it, dude.
there's an official Winston Game
Well, I
Boy
knew people
out
growing
there.
up who had Marlboro windbreakers and shit. I'm like,
Right?
you gotta smoke 40 fucking cartons of cigarettes just to get them goddamn things.
But if you're fucking addicted, you blow
Yeah.
through those 40 cartons in a minimum a year. What do you
Yeah.
know? I got a new fucking windbreaker
Well, the
for the
carton
winter.
holds, 200 cigarettes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Fucking ridiculous.
You can probably reach that limit in a year if you were a hardcore smoker.
I remember when I was a kid that they used to have these little pictures, these little pictures from all over America.
Yeah.
Scenic pictures, and my grandma would take it out and be like, here you go. And it had these cigarette cards.
Right.
I was like, oh, that's Virginia.
My grandmother's the only one that smoked in our family, and she hid that from my brother and myself.
Yeah, and the big foil to kind of wrap up this episode was Luann didn't want Hank, Peggy, and Bobby smoking because smoking tore her family apart.
Yep. Her fucking redneck family.
Yeah, it was smoking that did it.
Yeah, not the drinking and the beating. No.
Yeah, the smoking.
Her mama, Leanne. That's when you didn't realize how dumb her fucking sister,
I was
Peggy's.
gonna say that episode's
Peggy's,
pretty wild too.
Peggy's brother was. Because I think do you meet Peggy's brother? I think in one episode you do.
Not in.
Definitely not this early.
No. I'm talking about later on.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I feel like we do.
Because he's in jail.
Yeah. yes, we do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Peggy's family's fucked.
Yeah. All right, only 2 more episodes left in this season.
The Anthill.
The King of the Anthill. And this is a cool one because that was the one where Dale gets all shunned and angry because Hank doesn't let him spray on his lawn anymore.
This is when you find out how spiteful fucking Hank can be.
And Dale.
Well, not just that, but because of Con. He's like, ooh, you like my grass? Maybe my dog's poop. Fix it up. And like, because Con walks his dog to Hank's yard to shit in.
Yeah,
that's
like,
right.
Oh, you piece of motherfucker.
Yeah, because Hank, of course, cherishes his lawn. That's his second child, essentially.
And that's where he taught Luann with her pool.
Yeah.
Right.
Because Luann would just sit there, relax, drink a 6-pack, and sit there and test the pH balance of her pool and just sit there.
Yep.
And Uncle Hank. But I look at the anthill thing, I was fucked up. And that's when Bobby experiments with fucking
Yes.
ants. He's like, oh my, what's that one? He's like, oh, that's the Queen, stupid. That's the Bobby Joseph Gribbles joke.
Yep,
that I told earlier.
Yep.
He's like, you mean like the one on Dale Gribble's truck?
Yeah, my dad's.
Okay. He starts like he'll take in. That's when Bobby does like that weird sneak thing. You'll see.
Yes.
Like, he sneaks off. He's like, what was that? Peggy's like, what was that?
Yeah, that was a funny one because that was the one where Bobby was putting like sugar in his mouth and like dripping it into the hive and everything.
Queen. You take like a big huff of the anthill. Yep.
Yes, my queen.
That's so weird.
Uh-huh.
But the Joe, what was it? Hank's got a great line in that. He's like, why can't these hippies figure out more ways to use nature against parts of nature we don't fucking need? Talking about the. It was a thing. It was an all Biodome 4000 or something.
Yeah.
But you released this wasp under this little dome, and it would plant its eggs inside the ant's head, and they would explode open. And like
You're looking at him so confused. We watched this episode together.
This is like a little tidbit of the episode.
Well, yeah.
But anyway, he's talking about, and like Joseph's like, oh man, he's got Bug Killer 5000. That's badass.
Yeah.
Man. He's like. Hey, when it's done, we can all pick up the ant heads. It's like,
yeah.
Oh, you creepy motherfucker.
I know that they kind of dropped Joseph being that weird
until he got big.
Yeah, then he got weirder.
Same person that does Luann's voice, I think, does
Brittany Murphy.
No. Hold on, my bad.
Does
no, Pamela Alden, who does
Bobby's voice.
Nope, I'm wrong again. God damn it.
0 for 2.
0 for 2. Man, I'm just fucking up.
Fucking Wikipedia.
I probably remember who does Joseph's voice. I want to say it's Pamela Alden.
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah, because she's basically talking to herself.
Yeah.
But in a lot of episodes.
Yeah.
But, talking about continuity, when Joseph grows up and he has that growth spurt,
yeah.
You see that, and that's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
But the Anthill episode is so fucking hilarious because his whole yard turns to mush.
That's right.
Because of all the shit they just kept doing to it over and over, all to have the best yard for Cinco de Mayo.
Can you name the kind of grass he bought?
Oh God,
I can't.
Like $1 on it.
It was something like $1 some odds of square foot.
$1.75 square foot.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna
Cap,
get
we
it.
watched this literally together a few weeks ago.
I've watched so many and I didn't take any notes.
I have watched all of it. I can still remember every word.
I know.
Like it's the God.
Royal something.
Raleigh St. Augustine.
Raleigh St. Augustine.
okay.
Yeah.
It's this expensive fucking. And Con's like, yeah, expensive grass, $1.75 a quart. Yeah.
And then the last one on this season, plastic white female.
Oh, when Bobby's trying to
With the
learn how to
mannequin
kiss.
head?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I was gonna say one of our favorite quotes goes from this episode. The whole.
Find out how psychotic Luann is.
Yeah, Luann is a fucking psycho.
Yes, because she's getting into beauty school, so she's got her head to work on and all that bullshit.
You remember what she does early in the episode? What she does to Ladybird?
Oh yeah,
she takes a can that she filled with like beads or something and shakes it. It's like, yeah, that's what you get for eating my makeup.
No, it's not makeup; it's makeups.
Makeups.
Puts a little S at the end.
Makeups. Oh my god, it's so funny.
Then Bobby winds up growing a crush on it, and then he's worried because he's going to his first boy-girl party, and they're going to play spin the bottle, and wants to practice kissing.
And meanwhile, Hank's just like, well, right on, Bobby.
Yeah, thinking he's got a girlfriend.
Yeah.
You got You better have a cheerleader in here.
Oh no, that was
later on. But,
yeah, that was
but that's another part of Hank Hill, because when Bobby does home ec.
Uh-huh.
You better have a naked cheerleader in here because he's got a fucking cheerleader outfit in there that he's trying to learn how to clean. But no, man, it's just the way Hank raises Bobby is hilarious.
Yeah, I love
throughout
it.
the first season, then he changes it up a little bit.
Yeah.
There's just some things that are just hopeless with Bobby, but
Yeah, but there's some things like the propaniacs we were talking about earlier, or the grilling, or the football episode where he goes to soccer, comes back and plays football.
Yeah.
for Hank.
Yeah.
Yeah, stuff like that, and like the gardening thing, and the shop.
Yep.
That's my favorite episode, the shop episode. But that ain't just like season 4.
Yeah.
There are some gems in the later seasons, I will say, that saved the series.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, some of the older stuff I do not like. A lot of Peggy-centric episodes where she's just a dumbass.
We get a lot of that come season 2 and 3 after her playing Jump.
yeah, I like the earlier Peggy centric seasons
Yeah.
because she's like figuring out how like because she's like as stubborn as Hank is, but doesn't
she's
want to
very
admit
stubborn.
anything either.
She's extremely stubborn to the point where it's kind of dangerous.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, remember, she bought a bookstore. She bought a fucking store. All right, that has a fucking street value. You know, like you have to pay rent.
That is real estate.
That is fucking real estate, and the only way to keep it alive was to sell books and bullets. Like,
But this episode, as a season finale, was actually pretty good because it
fucking solid.
It budded the relationship between Bobby and Connie.
Yep.
Because he was talking about, I'm worried about going to the party. Because Connie's kind of been slowly throwing little hints that she kind of likes him, but it's been flying over his fucking head.
One of his first real kisses with Connie.
Yeah.
By accident, and it
Well,
was
not really by accident. I think Connie kind of.
Yeah,
well,
Connie's
yeah.
just
Well,
like,
I
let's
say
try-
by
Let's try
accident.
this. Okay.
Yeah, but it totally wasn't like a planned
It was very
thing.
platonic. We're just
Yeah.
like, you want to try this? Sure.
And then
How you feel? Nothing.
They bang their fucking heads together.
Yeah.
And then they fucking kiss again. And it's like, oh, that's good.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Then it ends with Bobby trying to cop a feel on Nancy. He lunges at her.
Yeah, he fucking Superman leaps at this girl.
Connie wasn't allowed to the party, remember? Because Con didn't want to do.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
why he met her
yeah.
outside.
Yeah, but I just thought that was kind of cool, though. The whole season kind of built
I will
up to
say,
them
so-
first kiss, but they're not really together.
When Dale's talk about his boy-girl party
Yeah.
for his son, if you look carefully, you listen to Dale talk about that, he's like, there will be no hanky-panky at the Gribble home, and it's fucking John Redcorn going through the goddamn window.
And again, just what Cap said, it's always the little things in those episodes that just make them. And it's those tiny jokes.
You remember
like
how much
that.
you paid
Exactly.
Dale? Or I'm talking about go back to the Anthill episode. That was when $2.
$2.
Well, damn, Hank, I was only holding out for $2.30. But that's when you really find out that Dale, he's like, I don't even make a living wage.
He just
Joke's
does it.
on you.
I don't even make a living wage. Well, he's got all that time to plant and shit.
But yeah, fantastic first season. I would say it would be such a shame if they didn't get as popular as it did, and that was where they had to end it off if they only
know.
got
Yeah,
one
it'd be like a
season.
cult classic, kind of like there's a show called Chosen. Like that. There's there's an episode called Korgoth. If you watch it, it's on YouTube. It's only one episode. It was a pilot, and MTV ran it, and it went nowhere. Even though it's the most hyper violent. Mike Judge was part of it.
Oh, really?
No shit. He was a hyper violent fucking dude. Like
Damn.
Conan the Barbarian, but the drawing styles you can see kind of similar between Beavis and Butthead Do America.
Yeah.
With that animation style.
Got it.
Same Mike Judge people.
Right.
But no, it was fucking hilarious.
Damn.
But you were talking about wouldn't it be funny if Beavis and Butthead show up?
Yes.
I think the closest we got was Clark Peters.
Yeah.
Because Mike Judge does Hank Hill and Boomhauer, right?
Yeah.
But he also does what's his name, the redheaded guy.
Oh, I was trying to think.
Your
yeah, 'cause
mom's teaching sex. That
Your
guy.
mom sucks.
Yeah. I got your mom fired.
Yeah, and then Clark is kind of like the dumb Beavis.
Right.
Bobby,
I didn't even think about that. There are
we
the
need
Beavis
you
and
to
Butthead
win
tropes.
because Bobby, if you don't win, we don't know what we'll do.
Yeah. And we
that
don't know
nasal-
we're gonna do.
He has that nasal snoring. That,
that kind of shit.
oh my god, it's so funny.
Well, I can't wait for us to bust on into season 2, and we'll be doing that probably. We'll kind of start interchanging these. I've been kind of splicing them out through Patreon, kind of seeing what's sticking, see what doesn't. But we're having a great old time doing this, especially revisiting such a fun TV show.
Hammer, where can I find a goddamn hammer? I just love that so much. Now, if I wanted a hammer, where would I go?
No, it's not hammer. It's hammer.
Hammer. Well, we're gonna definitely keep this going. But until next time, this has been Alex.
Cap.
Yep.
Yep.
Dang old Morrison, man. Dang.